Hey guys, Steve here. I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Nux. It's Nux 3-in-1 Refresher Spray. It's a moisture-absorbing spray that's designed specifically for men, especially the undercarriage guys. I mean, on a summer day, if you've ever been out and about, you get all sweaty and sticky, but you don't have time to take a shower, this is the answer. I'm sure you've had that experience, guys, and it sucks. So I want to tell you, this is a game changer. You can use it on your armpits. You know, you can put it on clothing, sports pads, pretty much anything that collects moisture. They actually design this stuff for military applications. So tactical gear, anything that you don't want sticky and you don't want to stink. So visit mynux.com. And, you know, I want to let you know that it has no aluminum ingredients. It's tested to be safe and effective, and it comes in scented or unscented varieties. So again, that's mynux.com. That's myKnucks.com.
And today's episode is brought to you by Moose and Oreo. When in need of a cheerful day, when in need of just wanting to smile and find reason for life, maybe kids just aren't your thing. Maybe you're a millennial and kids really aren't your thing. Well, we got a new child here. There they are. How you doing, everybody? Miro Weasel here. Like we are slow, though we really, really aren't. I almost forgot my saying. Wow. Well, thanks so much for tuning in here on Boss to Boss. Another great episode here ahead for you. And you know what? Let's celebrate. I feel like sometimes we don't talk enough about our wins, about the good things happening in our life in this world, and we just get so negative. We start focusing on the downers. I mean, yes, on social media and online, we only post the good stuff. Let's be honest. Everybody only posts the good things, except for recently. It's been like a trend. People are definitely opening up a lot more, which is good. Awareness is key, and awareness helps cure and helps others in need. So it's a good thing. But most importantly right now, this episode is brought to you by Nux, mynux.com, KNUCKS. You may ask, what is Nux? Well, you may ask. Well, you probably don't ask if you're a female, but if you're a male and you're tuning in to this episode, this show, chances are, you know, things get hot and heavy, especially down there. They get sweaty. That's actually pretty good. I should write that down. Your pits, you work out, you're in sports, you're an athlete, your equipment, your clothes, you name it. That stuff, sometimes you just need a nice refresher. You do. And if you ever watched our Mac and Black show, our sports podcast that we have on our network, our sister podcast, I actually tried on this spray in the middle of my episode, and it was so awesome. One armpit felt so much better than the other. I had to soon afterwards spray the other armpit, because I swear, this men's 3-in-1 refresher spray is just out of this world. It cools you down, makes you feel awesome. You aren't sticky, sweaty. It's great stuff. This is definitely going to be one of those things that just with time, it's going to take over, and it's going to be the hot new product. So check out Nux, mynux.com, KNUCKS. It's so early enough. Maybe you'll get a piece of the company. Maybe you could become like an early investor. We all wish we did it in Uber and Facebook and McDonald's. So just throwing it out there. Now back to the episode. Since Moose and Oreo aren't participating, they're searching for gold here in my studio, my long lost basement. I recently posted, if you follow me on Facebook or our group Boss, the number 2 Boss, you saw that I posted a win. I recently posted a win. I don't post too often, except for when it's actual episodes and things like that, just to get the content out there. I want to make sure that whoever was on our show, that we pay our dues, that that we make sure that their content is heard, that they were on here for a reason, and we spread the word, spread their message because it's a beautiful message. But recently, on chartable.com, which is a podcasting platform that helps. It's really hard to track your podcasts, like on iTunes, for example, or Google Play, or whichever ones track them. Main one is pretty much iTunes. It's hard to track it if you're not in like the top 20. It's really hard because they don't really list them out everywhere. So this website's amazing. I don't know what they do, what they pull, but they keep track of like every category up to like, I think, 1,000. I think anywhere, if you're in the top 1,000, you're ranked. So I have rankings for like numerous different, categories and countries. But recently, just a couple weeks ago, and I failed to mention this because I guess I wasn't really in the bragging kind of mood. But sometimes you just have to, just a little bit. And we made it up to a top 20. We made it to number 20 slot for a few days. I might have mentioned this briefly, but today I'm full out bragging, and I did on social media, and it was a good feeling because you know I've had moments before when things were good and I did awesome things, and I kind of just took it. I guess I was humble about it. I mean, that's a good quality to have as well, and I just kept going. But sometimes you stay humble, and then something like awesome happens, like this podcast here, Boss to Boss, gets ranked number 20 in entrepreneurism, and you're just like, damn, like that's pretty cool. Um, Give me a piece of that. So it's an accomplishment. I want to thank everybody that supports me, the accountability groups I'm in, my podcast team here, Steve Wiley, everybody that believes in this thing and that's a part of it. Because we're here, and we're here to make a dent in this community, in this world. Because you shouldn't have to work a regular 9 to 5. And if you do, you shouldn't have to be a bitch at that job either. You shouldn't. You should be able to do what you want. You should be able to take control, make decisions, and learn from it. Fall down on your ass and learn from it. You should be able to do that. You should be able to take that risk at least once in your life. Maybe you hate it and it's not for you, but you should be able to take that damn risk. Telling you, take that risk. It's worth it. I recently I had a friend that reached out to me. I want to say it's been like a year ago almost. He followed the podcast, and he was just asking for some tips. He was moving away from the first time in his life from here in Chicago to LA, and he was just like, like, hey, like, you got any people out there, and I kind of dropped a few names. Do you have any tips for me, or just like, anything I can do? How did you do it? How did you get past, quitting your job and having nothing? And I told him the best that I knew at the time. Definitely know a lot more right now. Um, but I recently, I think it was just yesterday, 2 days ago, I saw him post a picture that um, I'm not going to disclose a location, but whatever, I will. He's like the event planner or something at UCLA, the school, which was like he was trying to get a gig, something like that, something out there in LA in events and planning. And truth behold, boom, he got it. And he made like a whole awesome post about it, and everybody's it's like it was trending, everybody was following it, and that he just took a risk. And that's all he did. He took a risk. He went out there and he took a risk, and now he's doing something he loves instead of sitting here and crumbling. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. So when you see these things online, when people post something like they're doing good, like I just did, like something was actually awesome, it's because awesome things don't always happen. And I talk about my bad. I do. I've posted about my bad. But when you have the good moments, when they come, take them, embrace them, celebrate them, crack open a champagne, smoke a cigar. Obviously, I'm not a proponent here of drinking and smoking. I'm not trying to advertise that, but take a second to breathe, just be like, damn, this is pretty cool. We've been working on this thing I started podcasting over 2 years ago. we've been working here with boss to boss for like a year and a half almost now about, and it's like, wow, we deserve to pat ourselves on the back. I'm here. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I am. I don't know if the fellas here recording with me, or well, ladies and fellas, Oreo and Moose think that, but I will pat myself on the back, and yeah, I'm gonna embrace the moments, and you should too. What is your win? What is your recent win? I'm not focusing on the bads and the negatives on this episode, because I always talk about that stuff anyways, because shit that happens day and night. But when something good happens, what is it? Tell me, share it. Whatever you're doing today, um, communicate it. Like if something good happened to you recently, make it known. Message a friend. Tell them about it. Post something about it. Just put it out there to the world, and it's gonna make you feel better. I know it might sound like, it might sound a little narcissistic, but what's wrong with putting something out there that you did well? What's wrong with it? Doesn't have to be put out there. It could be shared with a loved one, a family, a friend. Why would you want to hold these nice moments? Our life is only so long, even though we're going to live for a long time. Definitely at least till 100, all of us. But when you start adding in all those things, all the factors, the sleep, the 9 to 5 job we might have worked, hopefully we won't anymore, the 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 watching TV, the sort of just mindless tasks, the chores, the stuff we do all the time. You're left with only so little time, and so little time for good things to happen to you. So when good things happen, embrace the moment, share it, celebrate it with others, celebrate the win, and then set the goal for the next one. The next one is that now that was ranked. We got ranked with the podcast number 20 for a few days. I want to get up there consistently. My next goal is to get there and stay there. I want to be up there with the Gary V's, the John Lee Dumases, the Barbara Corcorans. I want to get up there with them. I want to be amongst those podcasts. And we will. You will see our podcast up there more often, and eventually it's going to stay there. It will. And that's the next goal. That's the next goal I'm going to set. And there's obviously going to be stepping stones to getting there, but no reason that can't be attained. There's no reason at all. And you shouldn't stop yourself short either. If you heard that, that was Moose walking into the printer. Yep. Typical. And yeah, kind of that's where I'm at this week. And yeah, the reason I bring that up is because Adam Miletz, you might have heard of him. Hopefully we get him on the show. Out if you're listening, hopefully Moose alert. But hopefully if you're listening, let's make it happen. But he recently sent out he had a post or an email about it, and essentially I don't remember what the study was from, or from who, or from where, but just okay, it's officially happening. This is officially happening. Since he won't be quiet in today's episode, he is gonna sit here and be forced to record with me. But right, Moose, say hi. What Ed Milet had on his email and on his post is that I think average life nowadays is 78 years. Like 20 years is spent sleeping, another 7 years is spent lying at night with anxiety and not being able to go to bed. Another like 11 years is spent on TV and social media. And then I think another 5 years is spent driving. Anyways, once you take away all those things, you're left with like 7 or 8 years of actual time to do something for yourself, to make something happen. Obviously, like working your regular 9 to 5 job was in there too, but yeah, you're only left with so many years to actually do something for yourself and something you want to do. So let that sink in. Think about that. I think about it's 7 years. It's 7 years out of the average 78 years lifespan currently in the USA, and but it's pretty similar for a lot of countries. And we only get that like 10%, which is actually on our own time, and we can do whatever we want, and kind of, it's our moments to make something happen. That's very little time. So let that sink in. Next time you're deciding whether to take a risk or not, do it. Trust me, it's worth it. In worst case, you fall down on your ass, you could always go back to whatever the hell you were doing. I promise you. That being said, my favorite saying ever, this episode brought to you by Nux. Check out mynux.com, KNUCKS. Anybody else looking to sponsor this podcast, please let us know. Hit us up. info@boss2boss.com. That's info2boss.com. And you know what? Crush the rest of your week. Let me know what your win is. Throw it out there. Tell someone. Tell your family. Share that thing on Facebook and social media. Do it. Brag. We out over here. Moose, Oreo, everybody else, say bye. We out. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit boss2boss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.